Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha television. You're watching the news tonight with me, Frank Razan Pereira. Here are the headlines. Disruptions continue despite chairman's assurance on allowing discussion on all issues. Congress, TDP, TMC, AIADMK and DMK protest over PNB fraud, Andhra special status and Kaveri issues. Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu expresses anguish over placards being shown in the House, reminds floor leaders their responsibility in maintaining dignity of Parliament. Party leaders share his concern. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is fast becoming a digitally empowered society, emphasizes role of Central Information Commission in acting as a catalyst for good governance by building trust. Conrad Sangma takes oath as Meghalaya Chief Minister. 11 ministers also sworn in Tripura. Biplab Dev to take oath as new Chief Minister on Friday. And in Sri Lanka, 10-day emergency declared after communal clashes between Buddhists and Muslims in the central district of Kandy. T20 match between India and Lanka starts on schedule in Colombo. Well, Rajya Sabha witnessed several adjournments for the second day in a row over the PNB fraud and other issues. Chairman Venkaiah Naidu expressed anguish over repeated protests and display of placards in the House. The government also expressed readiness to discuss all contentious issues. Here's more.
The upper house failed to transact any business on Tuesday as members continued their protest over several issues. The Congress and the TMC sought to raise the issue of PNB fraud, while the AIADMK and the DMK demanded the constitution of the Kaveri Water Management Board. A TDP and Congress member demanded special status to Andhra Pradesh. The chairman urged members to allow the House to function and uphold the dignity of Parliament by not displaying placards.
Honourable members, this is not the way. This is Parliament. Please try to understand. This is Parliament. This is not a bazaar. To show placards is against the rules. You please withdraw, take back the placards. We are insulting ourselves. We are denigrating the democracy. We are making the Parliament as a laughing stock in front of the people of India. We are an upper house supposed to be set standards for others. I cannot allow this sort of thing to go on. I am adjourning the House to 11:30 and I suggest the leaders of the parties to please come and meet me in the chamber immediately.
As the protest continued, Chairman adjourned the House first till 11:30 am and then till 2 pm. He also asked the party leaders to meet him in his chambers.
Honourable members, the way things are happening in the House, I am not happy. I don't approve this sort of tactics. This is proving the public impression as if the Parliament is not conducting itself in a dignified manner. This should not be done. So I am adjourning the House to 2 p.m.
Similar scenes were witnessed even in the post-lunch session. MOS Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal criticized the opposition parties for causing obstruction despite the government's readiness to discuss all issues.
कांग्रेस बैंकिंग के ऊपर पीएनबी के ऊपर चर्चा चाहती है तो अब चर्चा से भाग क्यों रही है ये मैं जानना चाहता हूं। तो इसलिए सदन में सभापति जी ने कल भी कहा था सरकार चर्चा के लिए तैयार है। कहना चाहता हूं सरकार चर्चा के लिए तैयार है।
As the protest continued, the Deputy Chairman adjourned the House till Wednesday.
11 August, Wednesday, 7th March 2018.
Despite repeated assurance from the chairman to allow the discussion on all the issues under appropriate rules, the proceedings of the House were stalled yet again. These protests not only defy the established conventions and norms of Parliament, but also derail the legislative agenda. Besides important bills, The second half of the budget session is also crucial for the passage of Union Budget 2018-19 and the appropriation bills. Reporting from Parliament House Complex with counterperson Raj Thakur, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu took a stern view on the display of placards inside the House today. After the House was adjourned for the first time, Naidu met floor leaders in his chamber and made it clear to them that he will not run the House if members keep holding up placards. According to sources, the chairman said placards and banners are displayed in bazaars and they have no place inside Parliament. He also said he can't preside over the House if basic decorum is not observed. The chairman reportedly pointed out that almost all parties in the country have been in power in states and in the centre at some point or the other. According to sources, he said that parties should take seriously the concern of people about the functioning of legislatures, asking all parties to realise their collective responsibility to ensure the dignity and decorum of Parliament. The chairman said a beginning should be made by doing away with the display of placards and banners inside the House. Several leaders reportedly shared the chairman's concern at the meeting. Leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, reportedly said that he openly disapproved it when a party MP displayed a placard in the House. Well, HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar said that the Congress is disrupting Parliament proceedings to evade a discussion on the PNB fraud. Speaking to Rajya Sabha Television, Javadekar said that the government is ready for a discussion on all contentious issues.
Joining me is the Union HRD Minister, Mr. Prakash Javadekar. Sir, disruptions have rocked proceedings once again and paralysing.
I can tell you that this is Congress tactics not to allow discussion. They ask for discussion, we granted discussion. What else they want? But now they know they cannot reply when the discussion actually will take place. It will recoil on Congress. Because all the scams, it is of Congress. Even this banking thing will also go to their doorstep because they destroyed the banking system. And it is the origination is there only during the Congress regime. And therefore, now there are new skeletons also, 80-20 gold scheme and many other things. So they want to avoid the discussion. Therefore, they are deliberately disturbing the House.
But sir, important bills are lined up. Government has a heavy agenda. Yeah. How do you plan to build consensus among all the parties? So that
we are always open and we are always said that we are ready to discuss any topic which opposition wants to raise. Prime Minister has always said that opposition has a duty to raise issues and we have obligation to discuss them and we are ready to discuss, but they don't want to discuss. Right.
Reporting from Parliament with counterperson Raj Thakur, Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, Minister of State Finance Shiv Pratap Shukla exuded confidence that the Economic Offenders Bill will be passed in the second half of the budget session. Speaking to Rajya Sabha Television, Shukla slammed the opposition for causing disruption. Let's listen in.
Opposition parties are upping the ante on bank fraud and not letting the House function. Yesterday also we saw there were several disruptions and even today. What is the way ahead?
Actually, ये जो हो रहा है उसमें कोई बैंक फ्रॉड का विषय पर लोगों ने विषय नहीं उठाया है. विभिन्न डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सर्कमस्टेंसेस रहे हैं, जिसके नाते उसको वो किया है. और जैसे कावेरी है या और कुछ है, जिसको कुल मिलाकर के विपक्ष जो बजट सत्र में चलने देना चाहिए और उस पर गंभीरता के साथ बहस करना चाहिए, वह विपक्ष उसमें फेल हो रहा है.
So there's also a very important economic offenders bill. What would be the fate of the bill if disruptions continue like this?
अब उसको तो हम बाद में करा लेंगे, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Moving on, now disruptions continued in the Lok Sabha for the second day of the second half of the budget session. Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day on Tuesday as well after opposition continued to protest on various issues. Let's take a look.
Lok Sabha was adjourned for the day on Tuesday after opposition protested over various issues. The House was adjourned for 30 minutes as soon as it convened in the morning.
House meet again at 12 o'clock.
When it reassembled at noon, members from the Congress, TMC, TDP, TRS and AIADMK started raising slogans. Congress and TMC MPs raised the PNB fraud case, while the TDP and YSR Congress demanded special status for Andhra Pradesh. The TRS sought reservation quota above 50% in Telangana. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar urged the opposition to allow the House to function, saying the government was ready for a discussion on the PNB fraud issue.
Madam, if the House can run peacefully, then everyone can raise their issues. The Shiv Sena, TRS, TDP and Congress party, everybody can raise their issues. I especially don't understand why our Congress friends are agitated, madam. They wanted discussion on the alleged systematic irregularity in banking sector. We are ready for that. The government is ready for that.
हम ये चाहते हैं रूल 52 के तहत हमारे को डिस्कशन करने के लिए आप परमिशन देना चाहिए. We want to discuss and we are ready to discuss. Kindly allow me.
Despite repeated appeals by the Speaker to let the House function, the protests continue, forcing the Speaker to adjourn the House for the day.
The House stands adjourned to meet again on Wednesday, that's 7th March.
With inputs from Navikram Singh, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the new premises of the Central Information Commission in New Delhi on Tuesday. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Modi said transparency and accountability are crucial for a democratic and participative government. He said organizations like CIC act as catalysts for good governance by building trust and ensuring transparency. The Prime Minister also said that empowered citizens are one of the strongest pillars of democracy, and India is fast becoming a digitally empowered society. He added that Ask, Listen, Interact, Act and Inform are the 5 pillars of information highway that the government has adopted. The Prime Minister also launched the CIC mobile app that will facilitate filing applications and complaints besides getting the latest information about the Commission.
Empowered citizen हमारे लोकतंत्र का सबसे मजबूत स्तंभ है. पिछले 4 वर्षों में आपने देखा होगा कि किस तरह केंद्र सरकार ने अलग अलग माध्यमों के जरिए देश के लोगों को इन्फॉर्म एंड एम्पावर करने का प्रयास किया है. साथियों, आज के आधुनिक इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे के 5 पिलर्स हैं जिन पर हम एक साथ काम कर रहे हैं. ये 5 पिलर हैं: आस्क, लिसन, इंटरैक्ट, एक्ट एंड इन्फॉर्म.
Well, moving on to some political news now, Conrad Sangma was today sworn in as the new Chief Minister of Meghalaya. The National People's Party President, who is the son of former Lok Sabha Speaker late P.A. Sangma, was administered oath of office and secrecy by Governor Ganga Prasad at a function in Shillong. Sangma was administered the oath along with the 11 cabinet ministers by the governor. After taking oath, Chief Minister Sangma spoke of the importance of good governance and development in the state. Among various party dignitaries present on the occasion were BJP President Amit Shah and Home Minister Rajnath Singh. Sangma has the support of 34 MLAs in the 60-member assembly. They include 19 MLAs from the NPP, 6 from the UDP, 4 from the PDF, 2 each of the Hill State People's Democratic Party and the BJP, and an independent.
We have been very clear on our agenda that we want to focus on good governance. We feel that governance has been missing and it is important to get everything on track. So that will be the bottom line of everything, but of course there are many sectors that need to be looked into.
मेघालय के चीफ मिनिस्टर कोनराड संगमा को मैं हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं. अब सारा देश ये स्वीकार कर चुका है कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भी देश के शेष भागों की तरह भारतीय जनता पार्टी को कामयाबी मिल रही है और आगे भी कामयाबी मिलेगी.
Well, nephew Rio is slated to take oath as the Chief Minister of Nagaland on Thursday. Rio was earlier elected leader of the Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party and BJP alliance. Governor P.B. Acharya will administer the oath of office and secrecy to him at a ceremony that will be attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Kohima. Meanwhile, outgoing Nagaland Chief Minister T.R. Ziliang submitted his resignation to Governor Acharya today. He said his party, the Naga People's Front, will play the role of a constructive opposition in the assembly for the welfare of the state. The BJP bagged 12 seats while its ally NDPP won 17 seats in the 60-member assembly. It is also supported by the lone JDU MLA and an independent legislator. The BJP, along with NDPP, ruled out support to its 15-year-old ally Naga People's Front. Meanwhile, State BJP President Biplab Deb will be the new Chief Minister of Tripura. Biplab Deb's name was decided in a meeting of the newly elected MLAs of BJP and its ally IPFT in Agartala on Tuesday. Jishnu Deb Burman will be the Deputy Chief Minister of the state. The new government is to take oath on March 9th. The BJP and IPFT combined had swept to power in the state, winning 43 out of the 59 seats for which elections were held. The BJP had won 35 and IPFT 8 seats.
किसी ने भी कुछ भी राज्य में ऐसा कोई घटना घटाने की कोशिश करेगा और जिन्होंने भी कुछ भी किया है पूरे कड़ाई से उसका व्यवस्था की जाएगी, किसी को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा.
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the BJP's win in Tripura is a victory of ideology. The Prime Minister said this at the BJP Parliamentary Party meeting earlier today. He said that the left ideology is fading away not only from India but from all over the world. He said that the people have rejected the politics of hate and fear. He said the BJP's performance in the elections in the 3 northeastern states is important in this context. He said the party is committed to providing all-round development and thanked people for the 3 states for the mandate. The Prime Minister also spoke about the PNB fraud case and said that the government is willing to discuss the matter in both houses of parliament. He said debate should be the way forward and not disruptions. Meanwhile, the CPIM sought the immediate intervention of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in bringing an end to the violence in Tripura. In a memorandum to the Prime Minister, the party charged the BJP with unleashing a reign of terror on left workers in Tripura soon after winning the assembly polls. The party also gave a list of the alleged violent incidents, claiming 514 people were injured and 196 houses set on fire. The party also condemned the bulldozing of a Lenin statue, calling it an act of absolute vandalism. The Kolkata unit of the party held a protest against the violence in Tripura. Following incidents of violence in Tripura, the Union Home Ministry asked the state government to do the needful to maintain public order and restore peace. Home Minister Rajnath Singh also called up the Governor of Tripura as well as the Director General of Police, asking them to ensure peace and check violence till a new government is installed in the state. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Prolific British poet and story writer Joseph Rudyard Kipling, one of the first masters of short stories in English. In 1894 appeared his Jungle Book, which became a children's classic all over the world. Kim, the story of Kimball O'Hara and his adventures in the Himalayas, is perhaps his most felicitous work published. Set in and concerned with India he had come to know and love so well. In 1907, Kipling became the first English-language writer to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, a special CBI court in Delhi extended the custody of Karti Chidambaram by 3 more days on Tuesday. Custody was extended after the CBI told the court about new revelations that needed further custodial interrogation of Karti Chidambaram. The investigating agency also said Karti was not cooperating with the investigation. The probe team opposed his bail plea, alleging that witnesses were being approached and evidence was destroyed. Karti's bail plea will now be heard on March 9th. In another jolt to the former finance minister's son, the Supreme Court also refused to grant interim protection from arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. The Supreme Court stayed the proposed amendment to the Delhi Master Plan 2021 that is aimed at granting protection from the ongoing sealing drive in the national capital. The Supreme Court came down heavily on the Delhi Development Authority, the municipal corporations of Delhi and the Delhi government for not filing any affidavit analysing the environmental impact and safety issues of the proposed changes. Terming the DDA action as contempt, the Apex Court bench comprising Justices M.B. Lokur and Deepak Gupta asked the DDA to stop its action. The Supreme Court was hearing petitions against the unauthorized use of residential premises for commercial purposes. The Master Plan 2021 is a blueprint for the planning and expansion of the national capital. The DDA had recently approved the proposed changes to some rules in Master Plan 2021, which could benefit traders facing the threat of sealing. Well, India is hosting navies from at least 16 countries for an 8-day mega naval exercise that started today. The exercise aims to expand regional cooperation and combat unlawful activities in critical sea lanes. The biennial exercise Milan is being held in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the backdrop of China's growing military posturing in the Indo-Pacific region. Milan will also provide an opportunity to the navies to nurture stronger ties in dealing with various security challenges. Milan was first held in 1995 with the participation of just 5 navies. Maldives has declined India's invitation to participate in the exercise. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka government declared a state of emergency for 10 days following communal violence between the Buddhist and minority Muslim communities in Kandy district. The announcement came just hours ahead of the T20 match currently underway between India and Sri Lanka in Colombo. The decision was taken to prevent the spread of communal riots from Kandy to other parts of the country. India is playing the first match of the Nidahas 2020 Tri-Series at the Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. The BCCI also issued a statement saying that the situation is under control in Colombo. 2 persons were killed in the clashes that took place 2 days ago between the Buddhists and Muslims. The violence was triggered by the death of a Sinhalese man at the hands of a mob last week. Several mosques, shops and homes were set on fire, prompting the police to impose a curfew in the town since Monday afternoon. President Sirisena said that stern action will be taken against anyone who spreads violence in the country. Well, let's now take a look at some more news and updates from around the world in Global Buzz. The Russian military plane crashed in Syria, killing 26 passengers and 6 crew members, according to reports. The plane crashed during landing at Kaimim Air Base near the Syrian coastal city of Latakia. Russian Defense Ministry is investigating the cause of the incident, but initial data suggests a technical malfunction. Pakistan and US are expected to reset relations during the visit of Pakistan's Foreign Secretary Tehmeena Janjua to Washington. The visit comes days after a top aide of the US President pressed Islamabad to rein in terror groups operating from its soil. During the visit, Janjua is slated to hold talks with senior White House and State Department officials. According to reports, the discussions will focus on the current problems in bilateral ties and how the two sides can come to a decisive ground. Well, South Korean prosecutor summoned former President Lee Myung-bak for questioning as a criminal suspect in a bribery scandal. In recent weeks, allegations of corruption involving Lee's relatives and aides during his presidential term have mounted. Seoul prosecutors are investigating multiple cases of bribery amounting to millions of dollars against the former leader. His successor, Park Geun-hye, was ousted last year over a massive corruption scandal that emerged in 2016. A senior UN human rights official called Myanmar ethnic cleansers during his visit to the Cox's Bazar district in Bangladesh. He said despite Myanmar signing a pact with Bangladesh in November to accept back refugees, safe and sustainable returns are impossible under the current conditions. Rohingyas who sought shelter in Bangladesh have reported rape, killings and arson by security forces. Well, let's now shift focus and bring you up to speed with some sports news in SportsBeat. India lost to Australia 2-4 in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup hockey tournament in Malaysia. Mark Knowles, Aaron Daniel Beale and Blake Govers scored for the Aussies, while Sumit Kumar and Ramandeep Singh were the scorers for India. The loss means that India will not qualify for the finals of the tournament and are still looking for their first win. They will next face Malaysia on Wednesday. Indian shooter Manu Bakar won her second gold medal in the International Shooting Sport Federation World Cup, partnering with Om Prakash Mitharwal for the 10 meters air pistol mixed team. On Monday, she won the women's 10-meter air pistol gold on her senior World Cup debut. India have now won 7 medals and are at the top of the medal tally in the tournament. Indian gymnast Buddha Aruna Reddy who won bronze medal in the Gymnastics World Cup last month, has been offered a job by the South Central Railways. According to the SCR, Aruna has been given employment in the Group C category. She finished third with an average score of 13.699 in the women's vault event of Gymnastics World Cup. Ukraine's Elena Svitolina won the tie-break tens event at Madison Square Gardens in New York. World number 4 Svitolina beat Venus Williams 10-3 in the final. Earlier, she defeated Zhang Shui of China in the semis. The event was first women-only tie-break tens tournament in the United States in which 8 women tennis players participated. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this newscast. Good night.